Installing custom built-ins isn't just about building nice cabinets. It's about fitting them perfectly, fastening them securely, and making sure you're not drilling into something hidden inside the wall. Today I'm going to show you 4 modern tools that help me install these shelves faster, safer, and more accurately, so stick around. I finished installing the base cabinets and the countertop, and today we're going to be installing the 2 upper sections of shelves. Because this whole thing is a custom unit that I built, I want to make sure that it looks like it's built into the walls. In order to do that, you have to scribe the frame of the cabinets. It's touching at the top, like a nice big gap at the bottom. Scribing is a little outside the scope of this video. I'm working on a detailed breakdown of my process, and when that video is ready, I'll leave a link on the screen. But to give you a quick breakdown, I basically use an offset block to follow the contour of the wall and cut a groove into the frame of the cabinet. Then I set up one of my favorite tools, the track saw. This quickly and cleanly takes out the bulk of the material. We used to use jigsaws, but since track saws have come onto the scene, I exclusively reach for that tool instead. Then with the belt sander, I perfect the scribe. Time to check the fit. Beautiful. Before I install any cabinets or shelving, it's important that I understand exactly what's hiding behind the wall. This portion of today's video is sponsored by Wallabot. It's a physical device that scans the wall and tells me where my studs are and, just as importantly, where my plumbing or electric might be located. The Wallabot uses a series of beamers and receivers to see what's located in the wall. I like to attach mine to the phone, but you can use it separately as well. It's necessary to calibrate the Wallabot to the wall you're working on. It's a quick process. Inside the free Wallabot app, just press calibrate and slide along the wall in a circular pattern, holding the Wallabot vertically. Once done, it's time to scan the wall. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my way along the wall here. Now I know that my cabinet starts right around here and goes over, so I'm looking for maybe 2 studs that are to the right of this. There's one right there. So you can see how accurate this is. I can go nice and slow to try and find the center of that stud. So now I'm on the center. I'm going to make a little mark at the top right here. Then I'm going to come from the right. Now what this does is it increases the accuracy. See, now that's interesting. So you see that there's a wire there, or a pipe, that is probably strapped right to the side of this stud. Now why is that important? Is that now I'm going to find, again, the center of the stud coming from the right, which happens to be right on the same line. Now, the way I like to think of this is, now I'm going to cheat my hole about 1/4 of an inch to the left. And the reason for that is that if I'm going at an angle with the screw and they strap the wire too close to the front of the drywall, it's a little more concerning, more likelihood that I could hit it. So instead, I'm just going to cheat just 1/4 of an inch to the left. Now I'm going to continue along the wall. I find some other wires hidden between some studs, and then I find a second stud, as well as another wire. Now, fortunately, those 2 wires are far enough from the stud that I don't have to worry about it, so I'm going to mark dead center. Then I repeat this same process higher up on the wall, since I'm looking to make 4 holes, 2 down low and 2 up high. I calibrate once again, and then I'm going to mark out the top, a higher location on the stud for the first stud and a higher location for the second stud. Then I draw a line connecting the dots that represent the center of the studs. Now I have to transfer those marks onto the back of the cabinet. My favorite way to do that is with my laser level. One really important point I want to make, as you see here, is that my black line is slightly off level. That's partially because I cheated the bottom line to the left a little bit, and it also could be that the stud itself might be slightly off of level. Generally speaking, it's not a problem. All I do is I go somewhere in the middle. So basically, I'm slightly to the left of the top mark and slightly to the right of the bottom mark, and that average gives me a very accurate line to get as close to the center as I can be. I'm going to make a mark high up on the wall in that section where the crown molding is going to go. And that's going to allow me to reference the studs at any point after I put the cabinet up. Now, if you don't have access, say your cabinets go straight to the ceiling, there's no crown molding, you don't have that space up there, there's an alternate method. What I do then is I'll mark the ceiling using some painter's tape, usually my frog tape, and I'll make a mark as close to the cabinet as I can get and as close to the laser as I can get. And those 2 marks then become my reference. And as long as I don't move those marks, I can come back to them later on, line it up to those 2, and I know it'll line up perfectly with my stud once again. Now it's time to put the shelving unit back into its final location. As you see here, the laser now will transfer the line from the drywall behind to the inside of the cabinet, no measuring required. I'm going to start at the top where I can still see those black lines. I'm going to slip some shims into place, pre-drill with the countersink bit, and then I'm going to add some 2.5-inch construction screws. Then I just repeat the process for the other stud. They both hit perfectly, dead center, nice and solid. Now it gets a little tricky. The goal here is to add 2 more trim screws that are going to be as hidden as possible, and that's where this comes in. This is the offset chuck from my Milwaukee M12 installation driver. The chuck pops off, the offset one goes on, and I can drill nice and tight up against the shelf. And the reason I want to do that is because I want to hide these screws as much as possible. I will still fill them, I will still paint them, but the more I can hide them, the better it's going to look. So here's why I like to get nice and tight to those shelves, because now at my height, which is 6'2", I cannot see those screws. I'm still going to fill them, I'm still going to paint them, but this way it hides them as much as possible. Now it's time to install the second shelving unit. I just repeat the exact same process. One thing I love about our industry is that the tools continue to improve. None of these tools replace good craftsmanship. You still need to understand layout, build square cabinets, you got to take your time, but when they're used correctly, they can help you work more accurately, avoid costly mistakes, and produce cleaner results. Both cabinets ended up perfectly tight against the wall. The scribes came out awesome. There are almost no visible fasteners, and I know the screws landed exactly where I wanted to. I avoided any electric, any plumbing, and I hit the center of the studs. The next piece of this puzzle is to install the soffit and the crown molding, so make sure to follow along if you want to check out that video. I also have other videos on how I built these custom cabinet doors as well as the oak countertop you see here. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one.